open mic night. I have to practice that. I have a nice crowd. We have a nice crowd. All of you, please, your phones. If you're waiting for news of a new grandchild, it'll come, don't worry. And you'll get the news. So anything that goes ding dong in the night, please turn off. Then some of us, maybe most of us, have turned up our hearing aids. So please turn up your hearing aids. You're gonna be glad that you did that. We have some wonderful talent to present to you this evening. Some jokers, some storytellers, a little drama, a little sympathy, a lot of singing, which is so beautiful. I was here to hear rehearsal. Anyway, I know you'll enjoy the Breakers Open Night, Open Mic Night. I'm very proud to say that I'm a member of the Readers Theater, but I'm gonna let Barbara, our director, producer, describe to you what our actors are presenting this evening. So, everyone sit back and enjoy. And the first one I will present is, and you'll find out the reason, happily, Molly, please come forward.
Hey, Molly.
Hello, everyone. I will not be singing for you all today, like some of our other friends. I just wanted to take a moment before we all got started with this evening to ask that we take a moment of silence, because as many of you know, in the past month, we have had a couple members of our community pass away, and two of those were avid open mic night participants. And so I just want to recognize Julie Weinhold and Tim Weidman that have both passed away in the past month, and they both would have loved to be up here at open mic night. So let's just take 10 seconds of a moment of silence to remember them. Okay, thank you all, and now, Hannes will be right back up to introduce our next performer, but I hope you all enjoy the day.
For the night.
The night, yes.
I got my old job back. Thank you, Molly. Our next presenter is actually one that I have said good evening to before we go into dinner almost every evening, but I did not know that Martha was that talented. Just more than saying good evening. Here's Martha Wheeler. Let us give her a little welcome, Martha.
Good evening, everyone. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I see everybody and suddenly I'm nervous. I can't remember what I was going to say. Well, I have a question. Do you know what you call a group of elephants?
A herd.
Right, I heard in the back, a herd, right?
Yeah.
And what about a group of geese?
A
gaggle, yes, you got it, right. And a bunch of sheep. A flock, right. Oh, this is a smart group. And you're gonna have this one right off the bat. What do you call a bunch of prostitutes walking down the street?
Yeah, hookers.
Hookers.
Anthology of old pros. Do you know what promiscuous canaries get?
No.
No, what's the big guess?
Chirpies. It's a canarial disease. Virtually untreatable. Now I proceeded to forget the next one, so I'll just sing a song. The moon was shining on the bar room floor. The bar was closed for the night. A little brown mouse came out of his house to see if the cat was in sight. He licked up the liquor on the bar room floor, and back on his haunches he sat. And all night long you could hear him roar, "Come out, you dad-burned cat." I'll have to write down my shticks next time, so. I just forgot.
She just got a new brace that she's in. She got an
I have noticed that some of us have become such good drivers of our rotors. So watch out for us. Listen, tonight some of us even put on lipstick, so for the first time in 20 years, I'm proud to present everybody. But I usually bother this person with singing at her in the elevator, and Annette as well, and I apologize. Because we have several of our professional people here. I sing at them, really sing at them in the elevator. So here's Joe Piazza, who's one of the ladies or gentlemen that put up with me when I do that.
Such a pleasure to be here. I'm going to sing an old song from 1926, I think it is. Music by Michael Maitland and lyrics by Johnny Mercer. It's called Goody Goody. And I love if you want to chorus in with me on the goody goody parts. Yeah, it has a little intro first, don't be confused. You told me there wasn't a lesson in loving that you've never learned. Oh yeah, oh yeah. You told me that you could keep playing with fire and never get burned. Oh yeah, oh yeah. So, you sat right down and let yourself get right. Goody, goody, so you let someone, now you know how I feel. Goody, goody, so you gave her your heart too, just as I gave mine to you. And she tore it to little pieces. Now, how do you do? So you lie awake just singing the blues all night. Goody, goody, so you think that love's a barrel of dynamite. Oh, hooray and hallelujah, you had it coming to you. Goody, goody for her, goody, goody for me. And I hope you're satisfied, you rascal you.
As I said before, I'm very proud to be a part of Reader's Theater, which meet every other Thursday. Just watch your buzz. All of us have a little bit of ham in us. We really do. You'd be surprised. And instead of going through everything and explaining everything, the lady that works so hard with us and puts up with us is going to explain what our actors will present to you and actresses. Well, they're called actors. And Barbara will explain everything to you as soon as everything gets settled and I'm seated. And ladies and gentlemen, Barbara Ketter.
You're in for a wonderful performance again tonight. Masks off for everybody till after the performance. Reader's Theater gets together twice a month. On the second and fourth Thursday, we meet at 11 o'clock here in the showroom. Except this week, because we've got lovely Irish singers doing Irish music on Thursday, we're gonna meet in the conference room. So you can come to Keep Reader's Theater in the conference room and come over here and listen to Irish music.
Nice.
So.
The name of our play is Take Me to Your Leader. It's summertime in a big city. The heat spreads over the rooftops and crawls through the streets. It's mighty hot. The sort of day when nothing ever happens except that it gets hotter. Skeets and his gang have gathered at the playground to think of something to do, preferably something cool.
Hey, let's go see Hercules meets the monster of ooze. It's air conditioned.
Most of us saw that last week. Let's do something else.
Sandy too? Why not get rid of Sandy?
Oh, I've got to watch her today, Duke.
Yeah, Tom.
Oh, come on, it's just too hot to fight.
How come nothing ever happens on a day like this, Skeets?
Well, I guess it's just too hot.
Hey, what's that noise?
It's coming from up there. Up there, that's not Sparrowsby here.
Whatever it is, it's coming right into the playground.
Hey, hit the dirt. Maybe it's a tornado or something.
What is it? It's all purple and foamy.
It's landed. And Sandy's right. It is foamy. Look at it. Thousands of purple bubbles.
Well, maybe it's something from outer space. Maybe it's full of spacemen.
Oh, Skeet, you read too much.
He's right, Skeets. Spacemen come in big silver ships. They have all kinds of machines and ray guns. Who ever heard of spacemen coming in a gob of bubbles?
How would you know? You ever been to outer space?
I've seen them in the movies, so I know.
Big deal.
Well, let's get closer to it. Hide behind these trash cans. Maybe we can hear something.
The boys and Sandy sneak up on the strange purple phone. Hiding behind the trash cans, they listen. some sign of life from the ball of bubbles.
Sergeant, run your molecules the other way. We'll never get out of here if you can't do that.
I'm trying, Captain, sir, but I keep forgetting the formula.
Oh, first you get lost and take us to Venus and Pluto. And now that we've reached Earth, you forget the formula for getting us out of here? Sergeant, you drive me crazy. Spin your molecules. That's an order.
Skeets, they are spacemen. But what kind can they be? No spaceship? All that talk about spinning their molecules?
Wow. What if everything we ever thought about spacemen is wrong? I mean, what if they don't have machines or spaceships or anything like that?
They'll have to do a bunch of space movies over, that's for sure.
You really think that's spacemen in there?
Dumb. Boy, are you dumb? What do you think you're hearing? There's got to be spacemen in there.
And maybe even Martians.
Listen, they're talking again.
All right, Sergeant. Now that you've remembered the formula, we all feel better. Let's go over the plans again. Why are we here?
Bleep, boop, bubble, bleep.
Blast it, Sergeant, in English. English. We must practice our English.
Forgive me, Captain. We've come to Earth to plan the Martian invasion.
Right. Now, Lieutenant, what else?
Well, you will beat us senseless if we don't do it right.
No, no, no. What are we going to do?
I thought you meant the other part. We are to say that we come in peace, and then
And then, Sergeant?
Then we go back to Mars and tell our leaders to attack. It'll be a pushcart, Captain.
Push over, you idiot. All right. Check your supplies and let's go. Unless the sergeant has forgotten how to work his molecules again. And could we look orderly just for a change?
Outside the foamy purple ball, Skeets and his friends crouch in silence. They've heard every word.
they are Martians, and they want to take over Earth.
Do they sound very smart to you, Skeets?
Well, it depends on what smart means.
Well, smart or not, what are we going to do?
How about running before they get out?
What? And let them get away with it? We're the only ones who know what they want to do. If anybody else meets them, the Martians will say they come in peace. You heard that, Phil. We need a plan.
Right.
We
We need a plan.
Do you have a plan, Skeets?
Well, I'm thinking right now, and I'm not doing so good.
Suddenly, there's the sound of a huge bubble popping. And the three Martians tumble out of the foam ball.
Sergeant, I told you to let us know when you began reversing your molecules. Can't you do anything right?
I'm sorry, sir. Here, let me brush up your uniform.
Behind the trash cans, Skeets and the others watch with unbelieving eyes.
Oh my gosh, look at them. They're all soft and fuzzy looking.
And eyes all around their heads.
Look at those ears.
And they're blue. I thought Martians were green.
That one sees us. He better say,
Take me to your leader.
or he isn't a Martian.
Ah, Earthlings, take me to your leader.
Well, that part's okay.
Okay, my leader? Okay, yes, sir. Right away, sir. You just follow me. I'll take you to my leader. Right over here, sir.
Little Dudley and the others watch in confusion as Skeets leads the three Martians to the edge of the playground and points to a hardtop convertible.
There you are, sir. That's my leader.
That, he's no Earthling.
But he is my leader, sir. And my mama's and my daddy's. Little Dudley and his folks have a different leader, of course.
A different leader?
Oh, yes, yes. All of us have a leader. One for almost every family. My family's leader is called Hardtop Convertible. And Phil's leader is called Two-Door Sedan. And
A leader for every family, sir?
Hush, man.
Hey, Bill, what's Skeets on to anyway?
I don't know for sure. Looks like he's got a plan though.
Tell me, how do I address your leader?
Respectfully, sir, very respectfully.
Honored leader, my men and I have come to Earth on a peaceful mission. We ask only that you grant us permission to travel through your land and, well, why doesn't he say anything?
Oh, I never say anything. They have other ways.
Other ways? Explain that.
Oh, not here, sir, where they can hear me. Come back to the playground and I'll explain.
Sandy and the boys whisper among themselves as the Martians follow Skeets to the playground. Then they hurry to catch up.
Now, explain, Earthling.
Well, as you see, like I said, my parents, Lenny's parents, everybody's got a leader. These leaders are called by special names, but mostly they're just called cars. Now, cars have been ruling the earth for a long time, since the beginning of the 20th century.
What do these cars do?
That's just it. They don't do anything. We have to do everything for them. We have to feed them.
Right, at places called gas stations. And we have to pay for it.
Every day our daddy has to get inside the car and it takes him away from us all day. Oh, poor daddy, he's so worn out when he gets home.
Our folks have to pay money to the cars every month. It's called installment payment.
Why, this is impossible.
Oh, no, it's not, sir. My mama has to go with the car to the garage. The car stays there and has things done to it. It makes the car even more powerful. It meets the other cars, and they make plans. And when mama has to go and get the car, she has to pay for it again.
And we have to buy presents for the cars. They want seat covers and white wall tires and floor mats. And my daddy has to spend every Sunday just washing and waxing our leader.
Impossible.
Captain, maybe it's true.
Surely it can be proved.
You bet it can be proved. Just come with us. Whoops. Wait a minute. We can't just walk around with you three. What if the cars see you traveling without permission?
Very simple. We travel by rolling and shifting our molecules. Well, first we make a space ball, and then we roll our molecules, but never mind. We can change our molecules as well as move them. We can change ourselves into anything we want. Men become Earthlings.
Wow!
Skates, they look just like you and Duke and little Dudley. Identical twins.
Well, it's sure better than looking like Martians. Let's hope we don't run into our folks, though. Okay, Captain, let's go.
3 sets of twins and Lenny, Bill, and Sandy head back toward the street. As they pass the hardtop convertible, Skeets bows low. The street is right in the heart of a shopping district, and it's packed with cars.
See? They're everywhere.
And look at this. It's called a parking meter. We have to put money in it to keep the cars happy while they sit in the street.
Unbelievable.
Maybe we have to go over our plans again, Captain.
Shut up, will you? I can see we have problems here, but that's no reason not to be careful and look at these. Ow!
Careful, sir. Careful. Look both ways before you cross the street.
It tried to hit me. It really tried to hit me.
Maybe it knows you're a Martian, Captain.
Or maybe it was doing it for the fun of it. They like to see how close they can come.
Captain, could we go back now?
Nonsense. All you have to do is what was it?
Oh, just look both ways before you cross the street. Oh, see that, Captain? Oh, that's a super leader. We call it a bus. The only leader stronger than that is a truck. We'll show you a truck down by the highway, by the freeway.
Skeets leads the Martians to a hill overlooking the freeway. The traffic is piled up. The Martians look nervous.
There are thousands of Earthlings down there, all trapped in the cars.
I've never seen or spelled anything like it.
Quiet. Earthling, how long did you say these cars have ruled you?
Since the beginning of the 20th century.
And it's like this everywhere?
Oh, some places it's worse, sir. We have what we call two-car families.
All the cars want a family of their own, and we don't have enough people to satisfy them. Say, you Martians would like to come and live here, would you?
Oh, yes, that would take a load off of some of the earth people. Why don't you come?
Well, I don't think we can go into that right now. Where did these cars come from?
Detroit, the planet Detroit.
That's right, Detroit. I'm sure you've heard of it, Captain. More and more cars come every day. Why, pretty soon the whole Earth's going to be covered with them.
Enough! Take us back to our space ball now.
The Martians are led back to the playground, and there they change into Martians once more, except the sergeant. He winds up half Martian and half Skeets.
Earthlings, I want to thank you for your help. Sergeant, could you please stand still? I'm delighted we're all Martian again, but do stop that wriggling. Earthlings, I want to tell you how sorry we are for you. Your planet is doomed. The weight of these awful leaders of yours will soon drag you out of the galaxy into outer space. And I can only say goodbye to you. Come, men, to the ship.
Wait, we can get you a car of your own.
At those words, the Martians break into a run and dive headfirst into the purple foam of their space ball. The strange sound begins again, and the craft rises into the sky. Soon it is out of sight. Skeets and his friends watch it, and then
Ha! We did it!
They ran like scared rabbits.
Scared Martians, you mean?
And what do you mean, ha? They might have been scared, but they weren't so dumb. We didn't make any of it up, did we? I mean, cars. Are they our leaders or aren't they? What do you think?
we hope that you have enjoyed Take Me to Your Leader. And now I would like to introduce you to the performers. But before I do that, I would like to apologize for any mispronounced names. The performers are Dominic Violetti, Joe Piazza, Mary Reinhardt, Irvin Drobny, Elise Miller, and the narrator, Mary Hardy.
No more Martian.
Nice job.
Great.
Very good.
Good.
Sometimes I think we're living on Mars. You can see why I enjoy being part of the Readers Theater. And as Barbara said, please watch The Buzz and join us on Thursday mornings, every other Thursday at 11 o'clock. We really love it, and maybe some of us are professional, but most of us are not. We just like to read. Now, Steve, I'm here almost 18 years, and I'm just first meeting a lot of people. So forgive me if I do not know how to pronounce your names. And to the right, please forgive me. To the left, please forgive me, because I keep looking center stage. I should be looking right center, left center. Is that how you do it in the theater? Steve, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your last name, but it's nice meeting you. I was told years ago that the right pronunciation is flautist. May I proudly present Steve, who will be showing us what a flute really should sound like.
A friend suggested that I play some Irish songs in honor of St. Patrick's Day next week. So let's see. I will play "Oh Danny Boy" and when Irish Eyes Are Smiling" on the flute. And then one of the first pieces I learned when I was 6 years old, when the band director taught me a piece called Irish Washerwoman. So here we go with "Oh Danny Boy" and "When Irish Eyes Are Smiling." No, "When Irish Eyes Are Smiling."
Really? So clever. Oh, yes.
That was beautiful. Thank you, Steve. Thank you very much and welcome to the Breakers. Now, when you're watching, if you're lucky enough, or even if you watch it on television, and you watch those flautists, right, Steve, playing, you'll kind of understand what he's doing. Anyway, our next presenter is Ruth Kane. Ruth Kane is a new friend of mine, and I'm very happy to present her with her own special story or thing.
Ruth?
Thank you. So first I'd like to make my own tribute.
Microphone.
First I'd like to make my own tribute here. So the first part is gonna be tribute.
Can't hear you.
The first part is gonna be tribute. The second part of what I'm saying is gonna be gratitude. And the third part is gonna just be a special moment, different one, special moment. So in terms of tribute, I was a bit late, so I didn't hear the moment of silence, but I'd like to add words right now. First, in tribute to the courage.
Use the mic.
The courage of the people in Ukraine
Yes.
and all that's being experienced there and all over the world. And the second is the wonder of being at the Breakers, how fortunate we are to be at the Breakers, and how fortunate we are to have this magic experience every couple of months of the open mic and what that affords people. So I'm gonna slip in my own tribute, certainly to the magic of Tim and the magic of Julie, and also the magic for the next many longest years of those who bring us wonder, such as Steve. Yay, Steve, best embouchure ever. Embouchure is part of the flute players. And always yay to Hannes, who brings special beauty. And then I'd like to just do a bit more tribute to the amazing Molly, who makes so much happen. And makes people's lives just glow in ways that couldn't be possible otherwise. So the next part is gratitude. And if I was cool, I would have shared this with Molly earlier and she would have distributed it. But as many of you know, for the last year, I've been working on an independent project called Senior Daily Dozen. It's 12 affirmations that were developed by about 100 residents at this place over 6 months and then tested and refined. And Molly has magically placed, it's a film professionally produced, that's on Channel 2 now, 6 o'clock at night on Tuesdays. Thursdays, it's on at 8 and a couple of times during the week. So I just want to share this about affirmations. I tested this with 25 residents here, so 12 different statements about well-being. About 14 of them thought, oh, this is great. I feel more connected, I can make better decisions, I can remember my own powers, I feel positive, I feel calm, I feel soothed, I feel happier. And the other, like 10, 12 said, you know, this isn't really for me. So I'm going to be sharing this. There's sheets of the 12 affirmations. Again, if I was Miss Cool, I would have given this to Molly earlier, but I'm going to distribute it now. So it'll take about a minute and a half of you humming to yourself or just feeling good. And distribute them, and I'm going to ask that we read it out loud together, because bottom line is that I get to use you, thank you, as a test market, that some of the people who watch say, wow, let's make it in the group. So I'm just gonna test it here, just have us read it, and then I'll have that special moment, and then that'll be it. So for right now, just hum to yourself. You're welcome.
Gonna take some of both here.
Yeah, that would be so happy. I do that the most wonderful service.
Thank you.
Just make sure
So you don't have to take it with you, but if you take it with you and you hang it in your home and you read it every few days, the research is that you benefit from this a great deal physically and emotionally if you want. Otherwise, you can leave it here and somebody else will. Hello.
Ruth, I'm gonna continue with this.
Are you gonna say
I
something?
think. Yeah, I'm just gonna, how about if I do this, if you guys pass it around?
Not everybody.
Not
Could I pass out some for you?
Yeah.
I don't get down, okay. There's only one there.
Hello.
I understand you can get it set up, but I'm not sure. I can. Oh, really?
Why don't you just study that for a while? And maybe Ruth will explain what it is. Ruth?
Let's go on.
Okay, that was fun. I get about 2 more minutes. Okay, if it's possible for you to do this, then I'm going to read a number, then I'm going to ask that you read it once, the line, and then read the
We
line
can't hear you.
again.
We cannot hear
I
you.
forgot. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm going to read the number, and then I'm gonna ask that we all read the line once, and then again another time, and then I'll read the next number. And the value of this is that you really stay with the moment and just feel the words. Think of the words as they come to you. So let's try it. Number 1. I respect. Let's do it again. I respect what I have achieved in my life and still achieve. Yes. Number 2. I remind myself daily of my value to others and to myself. Let's read it again. I remind myself daily of my value to others and to myself. Number 3, I like who I am and who I am still becoming. Number 3, I like who I am and who I am still becoming. Number 4, it is a choice to be happy. I choose to be happy. Number 4, it is a choice to be happy. I choose to be happy. Number 5, I still have the power and ways to create the life I want. Number 5, I still have the power and ways to create the life I want. Number 6, I focus on what I can do rather than what I cannot do. Number 6, I focus on what I can do rather than what I cannot do. Number 7, I am doing my best with what I have been given. Number 7, I am doing my best with what I have been given. Number 8, I try to be kind to others and to be kind to myself. Number 8, I try to be kind to others and to be kind to myself. Number 9, I try to focus on what's half full and positive in my life. Number 9, I try to focus on the glass half full and positive in my life. Number 10, I appreciate what my body can still do. Number 10, I appreciate what my body can still do. Number 11, I make decisions that support my well-being. Number 11, I make decisions that support my well-being. Number 12, I control what I can control and let the rest go. Number 12, I control what I can control and let the rest go. Okay, again, it's on channel 2. It's on the listing, daily listing in the elevator under senior daily dozen. And it says good feelings in cap letters. So you're invited to keep this, to hang it someplace. to read it. The research is really documented that it's for your well-being. And then I'd like to close with this special moment. The first time I came here, I said, you know, it's not on television or in a movie. It's here. Every one of you is a superhero with what you face, with what you balance, with how you achieve what you can still achieve. You are a superhero. So I would like the last moments now for us to applaud ourselves. Yay!
Thank you, Ruth. And let's keep reading number 8 over and over again. Now, we have heard some of the stories that, take out these sheets now. You've all been given
Amazing
the
Grace.
song Amazing Grace. Velma has given us some wonderful stories. Tonight is gonna be really special because along with Velma is the lady that I've been begging to sing for a long time. I sing at Annette too. And thank you for letting me sing at you, Velma and Annette.
Now, I have the pleasure of introducing who I think is the very best storyteller I've ever heard. What we're going to do today is a song that was written many, many years ago, but today it is sung in many churches, many venues, many places around the world. And Velma and I would like to dedicate this to the people of Ukraine, who are undergoing quite a bit of strain today. The song, of course, you all know is Amazing Grace. I will sing it first, and then when Velma is finished telling her story, we'll all sing it together. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
I would like to share the story of Amazing Grace with you tonight. Thanks so much for allowing me this opportunity to share this story. I think the last time I tell a story, it was not so serious, but this is a very serious story. Amazing Grace. The waves, huge waves, came over that old slave ship that was caught in a violent storm. The masts were thrown into the swelling sea. And the captain said, keep pounding, keep pushing, as the crew tried to keep the waters out of the holes of that ship. Now, there was no human cargo in that ship at the time because 600 men, women, and children had been delivered to the Jamaicas, and the ship was on its way back to England when that storm came up. But in the holds of that ship was rum, coffee, sugar. And there was one old rogue of a wretch on that ship named
John Newton. And he had been sailing since he was 11 years old with his merchant father. But never before had he come so close to drowning. He cursed those waters. And as John sat on that old ship, he could hear his mother, who had been dead for many years, reading the Bible to him. He could hear his mother praying those prayers. And then John, to his shocked amazement, began to pray himself. And he prayed like he had never prayed before. And when he got walked off that ship alive in Ireland, he decided he would just review his life. He would look at what does life really mean. He began to look at the real meaning of life, and he went back and looked at his life and talked about when he was a sailor going from place to place, and one night while out drunk, drinking, and the captain kidnapped him and put him in the Navy, in the British Royal Navy. And he was such a problem in there. He was always into trouble. Found himself in chains until the captain, the officer, traded him off to a slave owning person, one who owned those old slave ships. And when John walked on that ship, he remembered how crowded it was. The people had no way to turn. The stench was nauseating. And he remembers taking those crew members up on the deck, making them dance a jig. And the ones who did not cooperate, he remembered beating them. Oh, it was just awful. He also remembered those old slave factories where he went up and down the west coast of Africa, working in those places where they held slaves there until they could be picked up. John Newton didn't know what to think about his life. Then he began to wonder, what was it that saved his life? He said, I must have a spark of faith deep down in me. It must have been the prayers that saved me. I don't know. Maybe it was those prayers. But John didn't know exactly what it was that saved him. But he went on, and you know what? Later he became a captain of a slave ship himself. And here's what he said: I'm going to extend favors to these people on the ships. And he began to extend some favors. He gave them just a little more space. He extended a moment for them to be able to sing and pray and have service on his slave ship. And that worked for a while, and then he bragged about the fact that he didn't lose anybody. Nobody committed suicide. They all was able to get to America without dying. But after a while, John's cold heart began to thaw. The blindness of the evils of slavery began to be lifted. He saw how wrong this was. Then he began to see how those people was moaning and groaning and crying that the favors he was doing was not very much. And an intense humiliation came over John. And here's what he said to the crew: turn the ship around. Let's go back to Africa.
to change his whole life. He went back and he began back to England and he became a staunch abolitionist. He became a minister. And it was in his childhood upbringing where his mother read to him and looking at the horrors of slavery changed his heart and his mind. And this is the thing that laid the words for this song that we hear sung so often. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. And that's gonna lead you into that song.
I'm not gonna do it as well as President Obama did, but I'll try. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I was lost, but now I'm.
You saw and heard what I was talking about. I think Steve left us with a feeling of a little Irish in all of us. And to continue that feeling, here's Clarice.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. With St. Patrick's Day coming next week, I thought I'd give us a little medley of Irish songs. Oh, Paddy dear, and did you hear the news that's going round? The shamrock is forbid by law to grow on Irish ground. St. Patrick's Day no more to keep, his colour can't be seen, for there's a bloody log in the wearing of the green. Oh, I met with Napper Tandy, and he took me by the hand, and he said, how's dear old Ireland, and how does she stand? She's the most distressful country that ever I have seen. They're hanging men and women there for wearing of the green. Then since the colour we must wear is England's cool red, sure Ireland's sons will ne'er forget the blood which they have shed. You may take the shamrock from your hat and cast it on the sod, but 'twill take root and flourish still, no wonder foot is trod. When the law can stop the blatant grass from growing as they grow, and when the leaves in summertime their verdure dare not show, then I will change the colour I wear in my cobbing. But till that day, please God, I'll stick to wearing of the green. Oh, the days of the carry dancing, oh, the ring of the piper's tune. Oh, for one of those hours of gladness, oh, alas, like our youth too soon. When the boys began to gather in the glen of a summer's night, and the Carrie Piper's tuning made us long with wild delight. Oh, to think of it, oh, to dream of it, fills my heart with tears. Oh, the days of the Carrie dancing, oh, the ring of the piper's tune. Oh, for one of those hours of gladness, alas, like our youth too soon.
Now, I have to beg your indulgence for a moment, because you have to pretend I am Barney McClary. Okay, and as Barney McClary, I'm gonna tell you the story of Kitty of Cold Lane.
As beautiful Kitty one morning was tripping with a pitcher of milk for the fair at Coleraine. When she saw me, she stumbled, the pitcher it tumbled, and all the sweet buttermilk watered the plain. Oh, what shall I do now? 'Twas looking at you now. Sure, such a pitcher I'll ne'er meet again. 'Twas the pride of my dairy, oh, Barney McClary. You were sent as a plague to the girls of Coleraine. I sat down beside her and gently did chide her that such a misfortune should bring her such pain. A kiss then I gave her, and before I did leave her, she vowed for such pleasure she'd drink it again. 'Twas the haymaking season, I know not the reason, misfortune will never come single, 'tis plain. For very soon after Miss Kitty's disaster, there was not a pitcher found whole in Coleraine.
Let me get a drink of water.
Wow.
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the roses falling. 'Tis you must go and I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, for all the valley's hushed and white with snow. 'Tis I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, I love you so.
Jewish, Irish, everybody. I'm not gonna make this long.
You have plenty of room on this side.
Huh?
Very nice singing, very nice.
Oh, all right, she's not gonna do it, okay. Slight change. Mary Hardy. Oh, where are you?
Right up.
And it's good to have you come and perform by yourself, my dear. Mary Hardy.
The name of this reading is If God Had Voicemail. I'm trying. If God had voicemail. Most of us have learned to live with voicemail as a necessary part of our daily lives. But have you ever wondered what it would be like if God decided to instill voicemail? Imagine praying and hearing the following. Thank you for calling heaven. For English, press 1. For Spanish, press 2. And for all other languages, press 0. Please select one of the following options. Press 1 for requests. Press 2 for Thanksgiving. Press 3 for complaints. Press 4 for all other inquiries. I'm sorry, all of our angels and saints are busy helping other sinners right now. However, your prayer is important to us and will be answered in the order it was received. Please stay on the line. If you would like to speak to the Father, press 1. The Son, press 2. The Holy Spirit, press 3. If you would like to hear King David play a psalm while you're holding, press 4. To find a loved one that has been assigned to heaven, press 5. Then enter his or her social security number, followed by the pound sign. If you receive a negative response, please hang up and try area code 666. For reservations to heaven, please enter JOHN, followed by the numbers 316. For answers to nagging questions about dinosaurs, the age of the earth, life on other planets, and where Noah's Ark is, please wait until you get here. Our computers show that you have already prayed today. Please hang up and try again tomorrow. The office is now closed for the weekend in observance of a religious holiday. Please pray again on Monday after 9:30 a.m. However, if you're calling after hours and need emergency assistance, please call your minister, our priest, our rabbi. Thank you.
Please press wow. Oh, my favorite comic strip character is gonna come to life. It wasn't really a comic strip character, it was somebody that certain of us ladies felt. Okay, my pet, Nicole, come on up.
All these affirmations are in my way. Okay. In poetry class, we were asked to write a poem about body parts. Body parts. I got it. This is a question for Marilyn Monroe. When you could have anybody, at least for a little while, who would you choose? I suspect you left it up to a body part. You consulted your large breasts, asked them to choose, and in a moment of feeling underappreciated, they picked the intellectual. Our breasts long to be properly described, and who better than a writer to turn a phrase properly, to record the magnificent of those appendages. This is a little story about how I lied about the size of my feet. I had small feet, but not small enough. He was handsome and Japanese. Your feet are small, size 6, he said. It wasn't that he was a foot fetishist. I believe he planned to buy me a pair of shoes. Yes, 6, I said. Size 6, I said. As soon as the lie passed my lips, my feet began to grow. Faster than Pinocchio's nose, faster than that beanstalk holding the giant, and soon my feet filled the small parking lot, covering a bright green pickup truck, America's most popular car, and leaving me embarrassed and alone.
Nicole, you're always delightful. Thank you so much. Lola Jacobs, where are you?
Right here. Hello, stage left.
And
Coming up.
stage right?
Oh, there she is.
Rona, it's your turn, darling.
Oh, thank you. I have to follow her.
Good evening. Is this on? Can you hear me back there?
Yeah.
Okay. One of my dinner mates said I should test and see if she can hear me. First of all, today is International Women's Day. So I just want to wish a happy International Women's Day to everyone here, man, woman, animal, whatever. Charlie. But I didn't know what I was going to do. I'm still kind of questioning what I'm doing here. But I thought I would do this. So this is a day a morning in my life here at the Breakers. A lot of times when I go to bed at night, I set an alarm because I have to be up. Sometimes I just turn everything all the way down and off, but today I left it on just a little bit. So I'm in bed, sleeping, and the phone is ringing, and I'm Pavlov's dog, and I have to jump up, well, I don't jump up, it's next to me. And I grab the phone, and it says, Liz, housekeeping. Well, some of you may be too new to know that Liz was our own housekeeper, and that's how I put it in the phone, and I'm sleeping, and I'm wanting to know why Liz is calling me. But before I can talk on the phone, I have to take my sleep apnea mask off. And then I have these braces on my hands that I have to take off so I don't get carpal tunnel in the middle of the night, or pins and needles. You know, then I wonder why I live alone, but anyway, it must be the socks on my feet. So I'm talking to Michelle and she's introducing herself. At 9 o'clock in the morning, she wants to know, do I want my rugs cleaned today? I said, I'm sleeping. I don't know. It's fine, it's after 9, you call. I said, but I think somebody's knocking on my door. Hold on. And I'm thinking it's the people who are coming to clean the rug or at my door. So I go to the door and I open it. They're fixing the apartment next to me or taking the rugs off or whatever. So I knew it wasn't that. So that she just said, okay, I'll call you back. I'm glad somebody had a brain because I would have tried to talk to her. So she did call me back after that. But yeah, dogs are barking. Is that kind of like tomatoes being thrown or something? Anyway, so that was just a part of the day, and it just went on from there. And I can't remember what else went on because that was enough for me. But then, and then I get a call. Would I notarize something for someone? I said, well, within the hour. I'm still waking up. It's like 10:30 now. But I said, within the hour. So I go over to notarize, and it turned out it didn't make any sense to me what I was notarizing. And I wasn't certain whether I should do it or not. So I called someone here in the building, Vaughn, actually, who was a notary. And he said, you know, if you're not certain, don't do it, which is what I thought. So, so that was my morning here in the Breakers. And I know it's not that interesting, but I thought it was kind of funny waking up to, do you want your rugs cleaned? Especially since I was told it could take 3 months and I just put the order in. But the other thing I'm going to talk about is this happens to me a lot in my life, and I guess Molly will give me a side, right? Okay. It happens a lot in my life is that I guess they're called coincidences. My brother and his husband say they're called the wink. I don't know if anybody's heard that. He told me to Google it, which is interesting because I was surprised he knew what the word Google meant. He isn't real good at these things, these words that I am. But anyway, so I have these coincidences in my life. I would ride my bike down a street and decide that at some point in my life I wanted to live on that street. And not purposely going out of my way. This happened 2 or 3 times. I lived on that street or the house. That's, you know, coincidence, whatever. But then I went to Europe to get over a broken heart. Isn't it why everybody goes by themselves? And I knew when I left Chicago, I knew that there was a medical student, Martin, staying at the house I was living in, and that he would be going back to France, to Strasbourg, at some point while I was traveling by myself. So I'm on the train from Paris into going into Spain, and there are these two, it's the early 70s, and there are these 2 American men in their early 20s. They have maple leaves on their backpacks because they didn't want anybody to think that they were Americans, North Americans. They wanted people to think that they were Canadian because Americans are dirty Americans in Europe the way we behave. So I'm talking with them and they say, yeah, we flew over Icelandic and we flew with this guy. I said, oh, they go, yeah, he's a French medical student. What's his name? I said, Martin. And I started screaming or breaking their disguise because I was so excited that I would have a place to stay now. I didn't really know if he'd be back or I'd be making this trip to Strasbourg and nobody would be there. Then I went from there, I go to Barcelona, and it took me a day or two to realize that what was his name, the guy who wrote Europe on $10 a day, maybe some people remember. Frumer, thank you. And so they had switched Barcelona with Madrid, the sights to see. It was kind of interesting. I did find Gaudi's Cathedral. But then I left there and I went to Madrid. And I'm walking down the street deciding that I'd been hitchhiking and traveling by myself for a month. And that it was probably time to head back home. I had a wedding anyway to stand up at. Otherwise, I might have stayed longer. Who knows? But anyway, walking down the street and this couple goes by and past me and I'm like, look a little interesting. And then they turn around and they go, Rana. And it was the guy I was a lab tech before I became a nurse. It was the man who taught me microbiology at Illinois Masonic. He had left to follow the bullfights. Needless to say, he was a little surprised to see me there. After that, I did get on I traveled with some people into Paris, into France, and then I met my friend Martin and I came home. And as things continued to happen to me, I moved to San Francisco or Oakland on the Greyhound bus. For $150, you could get a ticket to travel anywhere in the country for a month. So I moved up, I went out to Oakland, left my stuff, came back, and on the way back on the train, on the Greyhound bus, there was a little girl with her mother, and she told me that they were leaving her father because her father drank too much. And they couldn't stand it anymore. So they were coming to Chicago to be with some relatives. Okay. So I let her sit with me and I fed her and it was fine with the mother. Okay. And they were never going back to San Francisco. Well, flash forward to about March or April. This was Thanksgiving. And I walk into a Mexican restaurant in the Mission in San Francisco. This little girl runs up to me and goes, hi, remember me? And it was the girl from the bus. And these are just things that happen to me. And this continues. And then this got ends soon. A very good friend of mine was living in New York. And she was her 50th birthday, but she was very, very ill. She's a doctor and she'd been misdiagnosed many years before with her illness. And I thought, well, she's still alive. I'm gonna help her celebrate her 50th. I'd go out there for her 50th birthday. So it's Labor Day weekend and I fly out there. She said, get tickets that are refundable because I may be sick. So we celebrated her birthday and then her sister and I took the bus. It's like $40 for 3 days and you can see anything in New York that you want. So we're traveling around, it's evening, it's nighttime. And the tour guide takes us around the Twin Towers twice. The last time he takes us on the bridge into Brooklyn, it's about midnight now, and back, and he talks about it, and okay, so we go home shortly after this. The next day we go out and have fun. We saw some Broadway play, had a nice dinner. And Monday I went out to the Lower East Side. We were staying on the Upper East Side by Columbia University where her husband worked. And I went down to the Lower East Side because my father had lived there as a child. And then went back, went to the airport to fly home. And it was raining, so we got to sit on the tarmac for, I don't know how long. If you asked for water, they'd give you a cup like this, as you could see them pouring the champagne for the people in first class. Anyway, I got home, after I settled down, I went to bed. And then, of course, I woke up in the morning and I turned the TV on only to find out it was what we call 9/11. And I had gotten out of New York the night before. Her sister got stuck there for a week. And she was a lawyer in Kentucky she worked in the mountains, in the hollows, as they call them, I guess. And she really did have to get back, and there was no Zoom at the time. I was getting a lot of phone calls to say the least. Are you home? Are you okay? And then I had to call my brother, and they're in California, but his husband had worked at the Pentagon. And I had to call and say, please turn the TV on. I know you're going to want to know this. Now, most of these coincidences have been a lot nicer than this. I've met people here who I knew, or who knew people that I know. Recently, I'll just leave you with this. I'm talking with Bill Waller, who just moved in here, and it turns out we're having lunch, and he tells me that he's from where he went to college. I said, oh, my friend went to the girls' college. We're talking, and he goes, Flo? And it turns out that he knows my best friend, Flo. 50 years ago, they were in a Jewish high school group together. So anyway, these things continue in my life. And happily, Flo and Bill met last week. I went along at Greek Island, and we had a wonderful time. But I just thought I'd share this with you. Some of it's funny, some of it isn't. Maybe it's only funny in my head. But anyway, good night, everybody. I mean, the show's not over. I'm over. Bye-bye.
Oh, what a, thank you, Rona. Rona and I grew up in the same neighborhood, but she came 40 years after I did, so. Right now, I am so thrilled to present a man who has clutched my heart and those of other ladies standing by. Al, are you ready to sing?
Forgot the words, but I'll sing. Well, that was a beautiful time there, and you got some good singers there, very good singers. Yeah. So I'm gonna try to keep up with them. If not, I'll leave the building. You owe me then? I was gonna sing two songs, one in Italian, one in English. But I got a bad leg that was just operated on. So I'm gonna sing one and then I'm gonna go lay down somewhere. Ready now? Here we go.
Ready.
Now all of me, why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good without you? Take my arms, I'll never use them. Now take my lips, I want to lose them. Now your goodbye left me with eyes cry. How can I go on, dear, without you? You took the part that once was my heart, so why not take all of me, pretty baby? I said, why not take all of me? Oh yeah.
Promises, always promises.
Just get me here.
Saying a promise is always promises.
Okay, yeah, everybody.
Yeah.
All of our talent. All of you, thank you so much for making a wonderful evening for all the residents. Thank you so much. I didn't need the microphone either, but, all of you. And, I know there are Jewish people living in Ireland, and I would love to hear how they sound right now. Let's all enjoy every day and every morning that we get up. And have a good evening, and let's walk slowly to the elevator. And we will get home. Again, thank all of you. You made a very pleasant evening for an old lady. You really have. Thank you. Good night, sweetheart.